partitioning part regarding to the our Linux system administration video series. So and also this part is a main part of the RHCSA examination, and this video will help you to pass that examination as well. So first, I'm in server A as a root user. So first, I need to show what are the disks available in the server A. So I can use lsblk command, and you can see now this server have 1, 2, 3, 4 VDA, VDB, VDC, VDD, 4 disk, and VDA have one partition name as VDA1. So in server A have 4 disks. First disk is divided to one partition called as VDA1. So look at this. This VDA disk have 10 GB size, and also this VDA partition have also 10 GB size. So that's mean this VDA disk fully used for create this VDA1 partition. So that's mean we cannot use anymore this VDA disk. So we have three more disks. We can use those disks to learn the partitioning part. So first, we have a tool to create partition in the disk. That tool is parted. So first I will type df-h part, and you can see the summary of the partition available in the server. File system size used, how many available spaces have, use percentage, and mount point. So I will clear lsblk. So I will create first partition in the VDB. So how create that? I told you we have a tool called parted my hyphen s. S means summary. Dev VDB. In here, this is a virtual machine. That's why these disks are called VDA. If it is a physical machine using the SATA cables, the SATA hard disk, the VDA will be displayed as a SDA. So parted hyphen s means summary. Dev VDB, we are using the VDB disk. Print, we can see the summary of the VDB disk. So in here you can see the size of the disk and sector size. One sector size is 512 bit. I will explain then what is the sector in later. And partition table unknown. That's mean this disk not partition. So I am going to partition the disk. So parted hyphen s div bdb mkpart command used to create partition. Partition type is primary MS-DOS. So we can use MS-DOS mean MBR. I think you know MBR, and we can use the GPT as well as. So this MS-DOS have two type of partitions. Those are primary and extended partition. I will explain the extended partition later. So enter. First I need to label this partition. So sorry for that. Before we partition, if it is a new disk, that means if that disk does not use before, we need to label that disk. So I will label that disk dev vdp mk label MS-DOS. Actually in here I missed this command. Okay, label MS-DOS. Okay, now what happened if I run print command div vdb print. Now you can see partition table is MS-DOS. We use MS-DOS command in here. That means now partition label is MS-DOS. So I will clear this. Now let's be okay. Okay, now I am trying to partition. I am going to create first partition of the VDB disk. So parted hyphen s div VDB okay part primary partition 2048 sectors to 1000 megabytes. So what is these sectors? So look at this. When we consider about a disk is like this. Don't think about photos. I'm not professional for drawing. So this is the start rate from here. So when we consider about the disk, it have four areas. This is a bootloader. Bootloader. This is a partition 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And in here have magic number. So this is IBM standard. So in a disk, first when we consider about a disk, it has lot of sectors. This disk divided into sectors. So this is the place the sectors reading start. So first 2048 sectors are belong to bootloader. So if we damage this bootloader, the disk is not booting. So we need to remember, don't damage this bootloader. That's mean we uh, we don't need to damage the first 2048 sectors. That sectors are belong to bootloader. So in here I start the partition at the 2048 sectors. That means we are not doing any damage to the bootloader. So okay, now run lsdlk command. You can see our partition created. Partition size is 953 megabytes, and we can run parted-s div vdb print. You can see here in this disk we have one partition start from the 1049 kilobyte. That's mean bootloader size is 1049 kilobyte, and in the 1000 megabyte. So partition size is 999 megabyte. Partition type is primary. Now after create the partition, we need to format the partition and format with useful file system. So we can use ext1, ext2, ext3, ext4, xfs file system to format this partition. Those are the Linux partition file system. So I will format this partition using ext4. So mkfs dot ext4 del vdb1. Right. Now we create a partition and formatted it using the ext4 file system, and we need to mount this partition. So I'll create a directory called common1. Okay, now mount dev vdb1 common1. So then I will run the command f5h, and you can see we have dev vdb1 partition and size use 2.4 megabytes, available 856 megabyte. Mount point is common 1. So what happened if we reboot the machine. So I will reboot this. Okay. It will take some time. Okay. Now clear df-h. So what happened? The partition is gone. That's mean that partitioning is temporary. So we need to put a permanent entry to fs tab file to uh, to visible those partition for permanent. So I will create again that partition. Okay. So yeah, not partition. Sorry for that. Not partition. Mount point. You can see don't have any mount point. So we need to put a permanent entry to step file. So I will do that. So we have file called common. So open vim etc fs. Okay, now I am in the fs file. Okay. Dev btb1 where I want to mount command 1 file system. I use ext4 defaults 0 0. So yes, I think you know how to make the Excel text document in the Linux, and I will give you more video about that. So now type mount now df-h. One point is command 1. So I will reboot again this. I will show you what happened. SSH root and server. It will take some times. Okay. Now I will type df -h, and you can see VDB1 mount point is available. That's mean now this VDB1 disk mount point is permanent. So this is how to create the partition in the disk. So this is partition 1. Then I will create more partition. I will create more 3 partition. Parted -s del VDB. Now you don't need to label the disk. We labeled it before. MK part (2000 megabyte) is to 2000 megabyte. I need to put the type of the partition. This is also primary partition. Okay, partition created. So, and I need to tell you we start the creating partition from here. Okay, from here this is 2048 sector, and assume this is 1000 megabyte. Okay. Can we start the partitioning from here? Yeah, no issue. We can start the partition from here, but have one issue. What happened to this space? This space is called, then this space is called unallocated space. We can't use this space anymore, so don't waste any space. So use in all the megabytes available in the disk. Don't waste the space. And I will go to the okay. I'll create another partition, and I will format that partition using XFS file system. VDB2. Okay, now okay, I will create a comma 2. Okay. And also when we create a create the partition, we can see the block ID. This is the block ID belong to VDB. This is the VDB1. This is the VDA1. So we can use this block ID as well as to the FS tab icon. So I will copy this again. And win etc FS tab I this block ID we can use to this part DVD1 part. Now I show you that command 2 XFS file system defaults 00. Okay, D5H. Now you can see we not mount D5H, and you can see the VDB created as well as the VDB1. Now I will create two more partition. Or is this one? Is that created? Yeah, it's created. So after that we need to format mkfs ext4 dev vdb3 when it is cfs tab dev vdb3 3 ext4 defaults 0 mkdir 1, 3 mount a and another partition vdb mk part primary 4000 MB to 4512 MB. Now mkfs ext4, you can use any file system. Then vdb4. Okay, we need to put the entry vdb4 comma 4 ext4 defaults 0 0. at this. We have 4 partitions in the VDB disk. VDB1, VDB2, VDB3 and VDB4. So I'm going to create another partition. Sorry, VDB primary part and primary. So MV to 5000. So error, can't create any more partition. That's mean you can create only 4 primary partition in one disk. I told that's a IBM standard. We can create only 4 partition in a disk, 4 primary partition in a disk. So we need more partition. So what we can do? We can't create any more primary partition. We can create extended partition. So that's mean we can create 3 primary partition, and if we want more partition we can create extended partition. Inside that extended partition we can create logical partition, and we can create 11 logical partition. That's mean 3 primary partition. If you want more partition, this partition we can convert to the extended partition. And this inside this extended partition we can create logical partition, and we can create 11 logical partition. So I will delete this partition from RM. So I delete the VDB4 partition using the before we delete that partition, if you put a permanent entry to FS tab, you need to remove that permanent entry, and after that you need to unmount the partition. Unmount command is umount command 4. This is the command. After that you can remove the partition using this command. Part is dev vdb rm forming for partition. So guys, I told you we can create extended partition. So great. So in this disk have for 3 partitions. So now I will show how to create the extended partition. Parted -s means summary, dev vdb mk part extended. Where can we start? We can start from the 4000 MB. In here you can see the VDB disk size, so we can use we need to use space, all the space we have, so we can't create any more partition. That's why we need to put all the free spaces to the extended partition. So 5369 MB. Okay, now I will show you print extended. Now we have extended partition. Size is 1368 megabyte. It's extended. So LSBLK. Look at this. This VDB4 partition don't have a size. That means this extended partition not use any space. But this is also a partition. This is an extended partition. Inside this extended partition, we can create more partition, more logical partition. So I will show you how to create logical partition inside the VDB4 extended partition. Same dev VDB MK part logical. We can start from 4000 megabyte because this extended partition does not use any space, so we can use the partition from this start point. 4000 MB. Ignore this warning message. So now I will type again LSBLK. Now you can see VDB5. It has a space. This VDB4 that says extended partition. VDB5 is a logical partition. This VDB5 partition store in this VDB4 partition, inside this VDB4 partition. Now this VDB5 partition we can format using a file system nkfs, not xfs. I will use xfs, but we can type the VDB4 extended partition. We can format VDB5 logical partition, but we can't touch the extended partition. Div VDB5. Okay. Now I will create command file name etc first step div VDB5 command file xfs file system defaults 0 0. print the summary of the partition. You can see XFS file system. These are the primary partition. Fourth one is extended partition. The fifth one is located in the extended partition, and that's a logical partition. So this is all about partitioning part. In here we talk about how to see the disk, how many disk have in the server machine, and how to partition that disk, partition method. So we have one more thing to learn, that's swap space. So I will explain that from another video. Today I will start from here. Please subscribe my channel, don't forget that. If you have any question, please comment in below. I will reply all the comments, all the questions you have. So I will start from here. Thank you for watching.